Do you have hot thirst or cold thirst as your human design digestion type? Well, then this video is for you, because in this video we're going to talk about what that means and how you can navigate it better in your life. Hi, my name is Leandra. I'm a human design specialist. I give professional readings, I have courses, and I work in the holistic health space. And if you want to work with me, you can find all my links down in the box below. So in human design, there's digestion types, which means that not only our mental body needs to be nourished, but before we can actually step into our full potential, our physical body needs to be nourished in the correct way. And for each human, that obviously looks very unique and very different. So the first thing that we can look at is digestion, and each person takes in the food or energy, which food in the end is, in a very different and unique way. And the second thing we can look at is environment, because only if you are in your correct environment, your body feels safe, your body feels good, and you can thrive also on a mental plane, on your personality level. So therefore, it's really important that specifically for babies, or the younger you are, you start with the right food or digestion type. And you might probably have already calculated your chart, and if you have not done so yet, you will find the link down below. And if you have calculated your chart and it says hot or cold thirst, then this video will explain what exactly that means. So we have from thirst, which is one group basically, we have two different determinations. We have hot foods on the one side and we have cold foods on the other side, which is the two different sides of the spectrum basically saying. What the general theme of that is thirst, meaning your body needs a lot of liquid. You need to drink so much water, and I would obviously suggest water or tea or maybe coffee in some degree, and not sweetened drinks like soft drinks or anything of that nature, because obviously we know it's not really beneficial for your health. So drinking lots of water, and you probably already feel that because everyone I know in my surroundings, their pots are so massive. Like one of my friends has hot thirst, and she drinks probably 6 liters of tea each day. So her buckets are huge. She always has a cup to go in her hand, so you probably are already well aware of that. You need a lot of liquid. If you are not thirsty at all, that could be a sign that you are at the moment, physically speaking specifically, a little bit off path, a little bit out of alignment. So you want to check in with yourself, what in my current state is off alignment, and where do I maybe have a blockage that is preventing me for drinking enough water and seeing that I get enough liquid in my body. So this is the biggest theme for you, and as we were saying in the beginning, you have either hot thirst or cold thirst. So that means that if you have hot thirst, as the name already says, basically, you need a lot of hot liquids, hot teas, matcha, hot coffee, whatever the case may be, hot water, hot lemon water, etc. So everything that is average over your own body temperature. So it doesn't need to be like boiling hot so you burn yourself, but it needs to be over your body temperature. Whereas if you have cold thirst, it needs to be below your body temperature. So ideally, you put ice cubes into everything. And if you live in the US, that's probably a very easy thing for you to do, because I feel like everywhere there's ice cubes. So that might be an easy type for you. So seeing that you cool down everything. And the same actually counts for foods as well. You might actually naturally tend towards soups, towards smoothies, everything that is kind of more liquidy as well. But if you eat like let's say a proper meal, then you also want to check that you either have it hot or you either have it cooled down. And it's funny because in Australia I lived with someone who had cold thirst, and it was really funny because like everything that she was eating was cold, or she made a lasagna and put it in the fridge and just had it sit there for a week and ate it cold. And I was so sure that she must have cold thirst, and then we calculated her chart, and of course she had cold thirst. So it made a lot of sense. Your body usually already knows what's correct for you, so following that and trusting that. I feel like a lot of my clients often say, I'm feeling a little bit weird if I'm letting things cool down, or if I don't like warm things in a restaurant, what's wrong with me, right? But your body actually knows what's correct for you, so letting the things actually cool down. That is due to the actual reason that if you have cold thirst, your body is always a little bit overheated, so you might tend to get hot very fast. So also in room temperature or something, you're very, very overheating. So you need cooling things in order to get your body temperature down and get your digestion in alignment, because only if it's in the right temperature it can work for your benefits. The same counts for hot food. So you might be a little bit undercooled in your system and you might tend to be very, very cold all the time. You wear a lot of jackets. My other friend who has hot thirst, she's even in like 30 degrees, she's wearing probably like 3 jackets or something. She's always cold. I need to close the windows and heat up my rooms when she's coming. So yeah, you can also prepare for your friends if you know these kind of things, which is very nice, and improved literally all my friendships just knowing about their digestion type as well. Obviously, if you know the whole chart, even better. But anyways, so you might be a very undercooled person in your system. That's why you need warm things, especially warm liquids, as we said. Also, what can help you is if you use spices for your benefits. So if you have hot foods, you might want to use spices like what's it called, cinnamon, like chili peppers, anything that is heating up your system, or like curries and some sort of that nature. And in my experience, also with my clients, I feel people with hot foods often love, therefore, the Asian foods, like Thai foods or Vietnamese food, because it has this warm component to it and it's kind of heating you up a little bit, or Indian food, for example. Whereas if you have cold foods, you really tend to be a little bit more of the raw version, or antipasti, or just liking bread, or salads, stuff like that. So really going more for the raw version of things, and obviously the things cool down. But you can also use spices, for example, that actually are cooling. So for example, mint or lemon or anything of that nature. So if you have hot foods, you are an active eater. So ideally, you want to structure and focus on your food, meaning you want to have a breakfast, and don't skip breakfast, because your body system is already warmed up, or basically not warmed up, but already started when you wake up. That's what I want to say. And therefore, it needs nutrition. It needs energy in order to be functional, right? Whereas if you have cold foods, you are more of not a morning person probably, and need a little bit of a longer run in the morning, a little bit of a slow burn, and you want to wait a little bit until actually all your body functions are awakened and until you can take in food. So therefore you might even want to skip breakfast or have a light breakfast, eat a little bit more intuitively, meaning eating a little bit more snacky here and there whenever you feel like it. Whereas if you have hot foods, ideally you don't snack all the time. You eat something, you let your stomach empty, then you eat something again. You get my point. There is something called transference, which means that we always have one theme of digestion which is connected with another theme. And in your specific case, that would be direct or indirect light. So the hot thirst is connected with direct light, and the cold thirst is connected with indirect light, which would mean that you maybe have a theme of being very night active if you have cold thirst, or being very day active if you have hot thirst. So feeling a little bit into the light, which is not your theme, and that's really important to recognize here, that this is not important for your digestion. However, it might be something you're drawn to, but you can go into your experiment, of course, with your strategy and authority, and see if that really resonates with you, or test it out a little bit. The important thing for you is the liquid, is the hold and the hot and the cold, so the temperature, and getting enough liquids in your body, and not the day or the nighttime. So it's a really interesting one. I feel like specifically here, I see a lot of people who have maybe cold thirst. They think they're really night active, or vice versa. And that is something that is actually not your theme. And again, can show you that you are maybe a little bit off path, or a little bit off alignment here, specifically speaking about your body. So if you want to dive deeper into your specific diet, or also into what puts your whole chart together, because there's so many different components that can come together, which basically bring things a little bit more in different direction, then I would always suggest an individualized reading, which you can get, for example, with me, if you feel called to that, or also check out my courses that I have if you want to individually study that yourself, where you can go into your life purpose, where you can go into practical stuff studies that the courses are meant to or designed to guide you along in your deconditioning journey, so you can step by step, day by day, step more into your full authentic self. So yeah, if you feel like sticking around, feel free to watch any other video that I have on my channel. There's so much knowledge also about digestion, etc. And yeah, I hope I see you the next time, and bye for now.